Hi guys, how you guys doing? Just doing a little work here on the computer. I'll tell you what, man. I don't know why, but today I'm just exhausted. I mean, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I can hardly keep my eyes open right now. I'm just so flippin' exhausted. I don't know if it's because I'm not getting that much sleep at night. I'm like rolling and over and so on and so forth. I'm getting to that age. I'm getting, where I'm getting up at night several times a night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't know if that's just catching up with me, but man, I want to take a nap right now. I really do. I want to go to bed. So the other day I did a couple estimates. Probably saw the vlogs on that. That was exciting. So I called them up. I called a couple. I booked one of them. And we delivered some boxes to the guy earlier today. But today I did some follow up on them, and they're both looking really good. They really like the idea that the same people that load them are the same people that unload them. The fact that I'm giving them a guaranteed delivery date, that there's no hidden fees. I'm giving them a flat rate and with no hidden fees. They're really liking that. So I'm glad to help. I mean, I haven't closed them, but it's looking good. It's on the positive side, so that's a good thing. But yeah, tired as heck. Probably it's not going to be a long blog today. I'm just probably going to film me talking here, doing this little yappy stuff here a couple times, and then maybe do a little bit of shots in. I'm trying to really do this vlog thing here where you're putting in multiple shots and stuff. And I don't know if I'm getting better. I've only done it a few times, but when it comes to like the transitions, I'm using Screencast-O-Matic, and I can't figure out how to do the transitions. They keep wanting to do like the transition over the entire video, which makes the video slow down. And when I try to figure it out, I just can't figure it out. So it's choppy, but I'm doing my best. I'm learning. I'm using it. I'm learning how to do the editing. Hopefully, I'll get better and it looks better. So if you guys have been noticing that it's kind of crappy, well, that's because I'm crappy. But yeah, so that's just what I'm doing today. So I'm just gonna do some shots, me being on the computer doing absolutely nothing. Maybe talk to my guys, pet my animals, who knows. All right. But hey, if you guys know about Screencast-O-Matic, I would love to hear about it. Maybe you guys got some tips or hint, or maybe send me some videos of how you guys are using it. I'd really like to know how to do that. All right, guys? All right, so let's see what happens the rest of the day. Get you some video of my day. All right? Talk to you later. There's a lot of talk going on lately from on the news regarding a lot of different things that are affecting all of us here in America. And I'm personally, I'm a little scared of some of the rhetoric that's being said. And what I'm referring to is I'm a little scared about the situation with North Korea. This is a problem for me. I mean, I'm really truly scared. Not for myself necessarily. I'm 50 years old. I can take care of myself. But for this country, I'm really scared for it. We've got this guy over there that we have termed a bad guy, a dictator, crazy dude, whatever you want to call him. Everybody's calling him names. And none of us really are taking him really all that seriously until he sets off a rocket off that proves that he can actually hit the United States. And now all of a sudden we're taking notice of this guy. And you know, you got President Trump giving out fire and fury, and we're going to take it out. And which I like a strong-willed, you know, kill them all, let God sort them out kind of attitude. But you know, we're talking about war here. We're talking about war. I mean, let's look at our history in wars the last few couple decades here. You had the Vietnam War. How long did that last? It started in the mid-50s or late 50s and went into the mid-70s. We're talking 20 years of conflict that we were involved in. We're 20 years almost in conflict in the Middle East. You know, it's just like we've already fought Korea to a standstill. We fought them to a tie, basically. The war really technically has never ended. It's just a ceasefire. So we're still honestly still in war, even though we're not fighting each other technically. You've got this guy over in North Korea just setting up, just trying to egg us on. He keeps pressing the button just to see how far he can get away with. And he knows he's doing it. So how much is too far? You know, what is the red line that he can't cross? You know, and I'm scared for our country because, you know, the media and the president and his advisors are talking really tough, and he's talking to like, this could be a situation for us. And I'm scared for that because, you know, I'm scared for this country. I truly am. I'm scared for the young kids because they're the ones that are going to have to go off and fight. The young men and women, they're the ones that are going to have to do this fighting for us. It's not us older folks. It's going to be the young men and women. And those are our people, our future. Some of them will come back very damaged. Some of them won't come back at all. Some will come back to be very great people. But is that really worth the reward of it? I mean, seriously. He's got a nuclear weapon that could hit America. Would he really use it? Or is he just full of bluster? I mean, he does have the backing of China. I mean, China's a huge country, and it's not a country I would want to readily go into war with. Just their sheer numbers of warriors that they have. And I know that America, even with it watered down and liberalized that it has become over the last couple of decades, since I was in the military, I know that they're a highly trained fighting force and that they will get the job done. But what about us here supporting them? What about the people, like people in California and the West Coast? People in New York and the East Coast that are very liberal. Are they going to support our guys? What happens if Kim does send a bomb over here to America? Are they going to support the war then? Or are they going to do what they did in Vietnam and run for the hills and bitch and complain? I don't know. Hopefully they'll stand up. I have faith that they would stand up for this country. But the way it is now, the country, how divisive, I don't know that they would. So it leads us to a silent majority to defend our country. And is that enough? It's scary. This is very scary. We got a president who runs the country by tweets. I'm not a Trump supporter and all. I'm glad that the conservatives won, because I am conservative in the election. I'm glad the conservatives won the elections. You know, I'm glad that they control. But let's face it, they're not getting anything done. They're not doing what we've elected them to do. We can't repeal and replace Obamacare, even though it's simple as heck to do. I mean, it's really not that hard to do. I could solve it in a matter of 10 minutes. You give me the authority, in 10 minutes, I could have Obamacare solved for everybody's benefit. Everybody's benefit. It's not that difficult to solve. But everybody wants to put in their opinion. They want to put in their pork. They want to put in their this and that. And that's why we can't get anything done. Even with the Republicans are starting to eat themselves. Why is that? Because they got too many rhinos in the thing that we need to get rid of. I think we need more coming together and less separating ourselves. I'm not saying we have to agree with each other. I'm not saying we even have to support each other's stances or beliefs or positions politically, spiritually, socially, sexually. I'm just saying we should come together, be human beings, listen to one another, change our viewpoints when necessary, and admit when we're wrong. It's called personal responsibility. It's called personal integrity. And I think that's what our America is really lacking these days, is a lot of that personal stuff. Personal integrity and personal responsibility. Everybody, myself included, I'm guilty of this just as much as the next guy. Everybody wants everybody else to be at fault. But we never blame ourselves. Where I'm at right now today is because of actions and decisions I made in the past. It wasn't by actions or decisions that you made or decided for me. It was my own actions and my own decisions. A poor person on the street, a homeless person on the street, he's there because of his actions and decisions that he made in the past. You know, somebody who's only making minimum wage and working at McDonald's, they're in that job because of the actions and decisions that they made, not because anybody else made it for them. No one in today's society is holding a gun to your head. We do not have slavery in America today. Everybody's free to do what we want to do. Yes, there was some in the history, there's been some bad things happen to people. Black people went through hell. Gay people, you know, you went through some torment. Not like the black people, but you had your own different specialized torment. You know, I don't have to agree with the whole gay agenda and transgender agenda. Matter of fact, I'm highly against it. But that doesn't mean that we should go out and destroy it. I am truly scared for this country. I don't know where it's going. Being a Christian, you know, and having read the Bible several times now, cover to cover, and knowing what it says in the last book of the Bible, in the book of Revelation, I know that I believe it wholeheartedly, and I believe what the book of Revelation says. And it says it's going to get worse. It's going to get far worse before it ever gets better. And that's the scary thing for me. That's the real scary thing, because if we think it's bad now, it's going to get even worse. But I don't know. Who am I? I'm just some guy putting up videos on YouTube, hoping that somebody will watch them and think I'm cool, because I'm that insecure. No. You know, I'm trying to do my best, trying to, you know, spread my legacy with the videos, and I hope that hopefully I've encouraged some people, and people started some moving businesses, and I'm really impressed by that. I'm impressed and I'm heartened by that. I'm glad that people do that. And I got hope for this country. I think people are truly, you know, deep down, we're basically good. I think we're inherently evil, but I think we're basically good, as it says in the Genesis. It says, you know, when he made everything, says everything was very good. So I think we're basically good. Deep down, we all want to do the right thing. I think what we think is the right thing per our own perspectives, and we don't take in other perspectives into account. And that's not because we're evil. It's just I don't think we know how to look at other people's perspectives, and that's hard even for me. When I say something on Facebook or I communicate, like the other day I communicated about James Damore and the Google thing, people didn't like that perspective. It was very unpopular, and it was unpopular by the right-leaning people, the conservatives, whom I think I'm unassociated with. But they took offense to the fact that I said, hey, James should never have done this. He was there to work. He was there to do coding. He wasn't there to change or be a social justice worker for the right. That's not his job. He's there to work. He's there to get what they want done. Google wants done. He's there to do that work. He isn't there to change their diversity program. He's not. Does that mean he shouldn't have written his thing? No, maybe he should have. But he should have given it to the proper terminals. And that's all I'm saying. Do I agree with his writings and his stance? Absolutely. But he put it in the wrong format. He put it in the wrong form. That's like when you're on the online and you're talking about the Avengers movies, you know, and you're talking about Captain America, and someone brings up the subject of Superman and Batman. Dude, we're talking about the Avengers. It's not the right forum, not the right discussion to have right now, right? Or when you're at a funeral and you talk about going to the strip club. It's not the right forum. It's not the right public. You know? It's just not the right place to be doing it. And I think if we took in more and we took in more viewpoints other than our own viewpoint. And I think that's why I'm so harsh on education, because education has been more of an indoctrination than it is an actual education. It's not about teaching the people the 3 R's, as we used to call them back in the day. You know, reading, writing, arithmetic. You know, back in the day when my dad was a young lad and he grew up during the Depression, an eighth grade education was equivalent to a high school education today, or even a like a 2-year college degree education. You know, we're dumbing down our education system more and more and more and more every single day. And we're becoming a nation of idiots. I mean, look at our education level compared to other industrialized nations. Finland outranks us in our education level. So if we don't even have the education level, how can we then, because maturity and education go hand in hand. You can't, if you're raised on video games and you become an adult, you're going to have that kind of video game mentality. I mean, it's just the way it is. So if you're not out there learning about life, exploring life, whether you can travel or not, I mean, we're in a day and age where you can get online and travel the world. Maybe you can't physically go there, but you can online. You can go and see different things, but so many people don't want to do that. Hell, I'm lazy most of the time. But we need to gather more experiences. Back in the early century, before TV and even radio, people went out and explored. I mean, we had free-range children, and we did okay. Parents paddled their kids when their kids disobeyed, and we turned out okay. But now we want to liberalize everything. We want to, turn it into, we don't want to hurt our kids because there's a study about they're going to grow up to be bad people. Well, they're not. Most people are good. Most people want to do the right thing. I think, with our, we're in this age right now, we're running into where everything's so convenient, so easy to get. It's so, it's right there at our fingertips if we want it. We're so used to having things right now. We're so used to having the ability to get things. If we want to go get a pop, we can just go to the corner store and grab a soda. It's so easily. Now we've got things that are going to be delivered to us. We got programs like who are actually going to do shopping and deliver your groceries to you. We've got Uber. We've got all these things that, you know, there are businesses that will deliver fast food to you. McDonald's is looking at doing a delivery service. I mean, everything is like push button nowadays. We don't really have to work for anything anymore. And I think as a society, and it's my generation and the generation before that are at fault, because we haven't instilled in our kids and our grandchildren a sense of work ethic. We haven't instilled in them a sense of worldly wisdom. Back in the day, you know, you know, if you were a bully, you got punched in the nose or kicked in the nuts. You know, men had manners, because if you didn't have manners, you were going to get shot. And you know what? They didn't have the justice like we have now. Like in the Old West, if you disrespected someone, they just shot you and left you right there, let you rot right there, and there was nobody going to arrest them. And you know what? Most people would have just turned a blind eye. And, you know, but we've civilized now, and we've lost the ability to reason. We've lost the ability to discern right from wrong, literally right from wrong. Things that we considered wrong just even 10 years ago are now considered okay. We've lost that ability to determine what's right and wrong. And because of that, we've got people that are so divisive now. We've got such a dichotomy of viewpoints. On one side, we've got the right, and on the other side, we've got the left. And there between they meet. And that's the problem, because everybody thinks they're right. But if we just came together, see where I'm bringing this to? If we come together and started listening to each other's viewpoints, whether we agreed with them or not, we don't have to agree with them. You know, I always grew up with the mentality, I don't have to like what you have to say. I don't have to like how you live your life. But I'll defend your right to do it. And I still maintain that today. I don't like the transgenders. I think they're horribly, horribly mentally ill people. But I'm not going to put a barrier in their way to stop them from getting their surgeries. I'm just not. I'm not going to stop them from living their life. I might say, hey, I disagree with you, and this is why I disagree with you. But they're living their life. Them living them life, them going from a male to female or female to male, hurts me in no manner whatsoever. Doesn't hurt my life, doesn't affect my life. When they start trying to impose their viewpoint on me, now they've crossed the line. And vice versa. If I try to impose my viewpoint on them, I've crossed the line. That is not how Christianity works, not in the Bible that you read. You know, I know a lot of religions will be bad, but there is nowhere. All we're supposed to do as Christians is present the Word of God. Present the life of Jesus to these people. Ask them to repent of their sins. And then it's up to them. But trying to force them to repent, it does nobody no good. And vice versa. You forcing me to accept your homosexuality or transgenderism or liberalism goes too far. You cannot impose your morality on me. It goes too far. That doesn't mean we shouldn't come together and listen to one another. I don't know. I'm just scared for this country. I think that we need to come together more. We need to have less divisiveness, less left and right, less duality, duality. I don't know. I can't pronounce that flippin' word. Who cares anyway? We got to have less them versus me and become a we. You know, and go and do what's best for this country. And I don't think that's happening. And I think it's going to get worse. And that's what really scares me. Just my thoughts. I'm just telling my thoughts today. Today is nothing but just. And you can agree with me or disagree with me. And I don't care either way. But I'd love to hear your viewpoint. Leave me a comment in the message below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. That's okay. I can handle it. I'm a big boy. And make sure you share this with all your family and friends. And make sure you subscribe to this channel. Appreciate it, you guys. I love you. Here's a poke.